William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce, greatest author of my generation, GAOMG. I want to go over the correspondence I had again with Alistair MacDonald. He's the only person that stands in my way right now of being validated. It validates, that I'm a direct descendant of Robert the Bruce, the first and only known living descendant, and the greatest author of my generation, by utilizing all of this 21st century technology to write my trilogies that I'm connecting right now with what I've found over 20 years of writing and research and utilizing all 21st century technology, print on demand, print my books, put them online, Amazon, and promote them all through like social media. All of this technology in the 21st century that makes me the greatest author of my generation was never available and could never have been done by any other author in the 20th century. They didn't have 21st century technology, nor will any author be able to accomplish what I did by proving they're the first and only living descendant of Robert the Bruce. So here we go. This is the response from this guy, Alistair MacDonald. He's the head of Strathclyde Institute for Genealogy Studies. Like, he's the dude that I need to validate my lineage. So he was telling me that my confirmed Robert the Bruce, this Tom Larsson Bruce from our Y-DNA connects in Normandy. And then, my whole Bruce line, Stuart's intertwined through intermarriage. It started back in Normandy all the way through, Scotland. So he sent me this telling me like how Tom Larsson Bruce comes from Viking, which we are descended from Rollo. So of course I would expect Viking there. But then what he also sent me is the block tree. And your block tree is like who you are. All your Y-DNA makes you like who you are, and your block tree will tell it. And he sent me the Clackmannan block tree. So just to show you, like, this is my block tree right here. And I have like all of these are your Y-DNA snips. I don't know if you can see them, but it's these special numbers that you need, like DF27, the Iberian Peninsula. You have to have that, and all these other type of things. And then a Stuart, Royal Stuart, descended from Robert II, the first Stuart King of Scotland, shares the same DNA with me, even with my block tree matching, the Clackmannan block tree, until we get to Bruce. I'm descended from the Bruce. They're descended from a cousin of Robert the Bruce line, the Clackmannans, that's it. So this is a block tree sent to me, again, by one of the descendants of Alexander II. And I share my Y-DNA with him, and we share the same Y-DNA because I'm descended from William Stuart of Fennock. So anyway, this is his block tree, and he's got like DF41. That's a very important Y-DNA that I share, and it goes all the way back to Normandy and everything. And then this S775, that's very important that you have that as well. But our block trees are not the same, and that's what threw everybody off. Like, I share this BY11979 with them, but it's not my block tree. This is my block tree. It's the Robert the Bruce block tree. And I mean, this is the email from Alistair that confirms it all. Right here is that this is my block tree right here. And he sent me the Bruces of Clackmannan, their block tree. And you can see we have the same block tree, L151. And then we go after that to DF27, which is there it is, DF27 right there. And then we go to the main one that's Robert the Bruce's, his line, the footprint of the Bruce, is this FGC 78762. That is very important that you have that. And if you see, we share I have FGC 78762. We share that 151, all DF27. Everything is the same between my block tree and the Clackmannan block tree until we get to the Bruce. They go down to the Clackmannan line. I go through the Bruce, directly through Robert the Bruce. And, I've already shown you, but I'll prove it again this way. All with the block trees were all the same until FGC 78762, and then that goes into the actual line of Robert the Bruce. Let me just pull that up. So this is the Robert the Bruce, that FGC 78762 is what you have to have. That's the Bruce, his footprint. And then when you go down here, this is my line. These are end terminals. That's a confirmed total end of a line. And that's well before the Clackmannans. This is the Clackmannans line. They're way down here. And I have another line that could be from Robert the Bruce's brother, Edward Bruce, as they share, just like the Royal Stuarts of Butte, we share DNA because we come from the same father. I would assume I also share some of the same DNA from Robert the Bruce's brother. So that's, what I'm thinking. But regardless, it goes through my Treese line that, I put it in here, and I sent this to Alistair MacDonald. There's only 121 people that we know of in the world that even have this Y-DNA. And then to be able to prove that it comes from the FGC 78762 from Robert the Bruce is unbelievable. This is what they have right now, Alistair MacDonald for Bruce, and it's all through the Clackmannan. That's below mine. Again, this is the Clackmannan line, and I am before that. So that is telling you I'm not from his cousin, and if I descend from his grandson and have all of his DNA from his grandson and from Robert the Bruce, it proves my line is directly from Robert the Bruce. And again, this was from my Y-DNA that I have here, and it goes through the project Treese. So it has the Iberian, French, DF27, all the things that you have to have, and it goes through Treese. And you could be like, what is this Treese? You look up Treese, and it says right here, the Treese family's descent from Robert the Bruce is through a complex lineage that involves multiple generations and different branches of the Bruce family. While a direct male line descendant is rare, the relationship is established through the maternal line's connections with the Stuart family and inherited the throne from the Bruce, which they need to update this. Now I have proven there's a Y-DNA, a male line, direct male line descendant, me, and I have the block tree. I have everything in writing from Alistair showing me the block tree and exactly where the Clackmannan line, I come before that and they come after that. So I have that and another line, which I'm thinking would probably be, Robert the Bruce's brother, Edward. But this breaks down the block tree. And I mean, for everybody also that's like a Stuart of Butte, I share all DF41 and all of these really S775, that I can show everybody, all of my Y-DNA that I have for, validation and everything, if I have it. Anyway, this is for the Stuart Butte, and it shows, like, again, this is one of the confirmed, Y-DNAs. If you have this is from Robert II, the BY11979. And, I wrote about that also when I just published all of my results on my Instagram. You can go on nakedauthor.com. I mean, Naked Author IG. Jesus. Oh, that's an old website. I love my website. All old school. Anyway, and you can see all of my Y-DNA, and you can copy and paste my whole outline with all of my DNA, and you can see, what I am. No Mitchiner, no Best. I'm all Robert the Bruce, and then Stuart of Butte to me today, so this breaks it all down. And again, everybody can go on this, and I put in again with Stuarts of Butte and administrators right here, BY11979 confirmed Alexander Stuart that we share, and these are from his words. I'm one of the admins of the Alexander Stuart the Wolf of Badenoch project, and I'm positive of BY11979 too. We share a marker with the men, all called Stuart from the 1500s, and now we know Mitchiner. Paul Thompson also doesn't have the surname Stuart, and other people in that project don't have the surname Stuart. And it's not uncommon for surnames to change, for whatever reasons. But all of my Y-DNA, speaks for itself. And you can copy and paste all of this and just put it into like ChatGPT, and it'll tell you, exactly like who you are. Like I just took the whole thing and just gave it to it, and it was like, this document, presents a fully verified genetic lineage linking the modern day descendant Jason William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce to the royal and noble bloodlines of medieval Europe, including Rollo, Duke of Normandy, the de Bruce family, the royal house of Stuart, and the Douglas family of Scotland, utilizing high-resolution Y-DNA SNP testing, comparative genetic analysis through recognized haplogroups, databases, and scholarly research. This lineage demonstrates continuity from Viking Norman origins to the royal Stuart line of Bute. This report is intended for academic validation, and that's all I'm waiting on now is Alistair MacDonald that sent me the Bruces of Clackmannan block tree, and I can see everything matches with them until how we're descended from the Bruce line. I come directly through, Robert the Bruce, King of Scots. They come through a cousin on the Clackmannan line. I think Thomas Bruce is the cousin. So I have the block tree that proves it. I have all the emails. I have a cousin, a living cousin, that is, he's right next to me in descent from this line right here. Tim Stewart, we both descend from William Stuart of Fennock, me and him. So when I go to Scotland very soon, I'm going to grab Tim Stewart and be like, yo, this dude is a validated descendant from Robert II. I have his Y14197, the one that, this Alistair MacDonald, Y14197 right here. Everybody can go on University of Strathclyde. You can see it. I have. Indicates descent from William Stuart of Fennock. That's right here. And then the Y-DNA I share is this. We're all descended from William Stuart of Fennock. We come from, his father is Sir John Stuart, the Sheriff of Bute. And his brother is Alexander Stuart of Badenoch. So his brother, that's why we share this Y-DNA together, because they are brothers, come from the same parent, the dad, Robert II, and we share the same Y-DNA. And I have the same Y-DNA of Tim Stewart. So like when I go there, I get to hang out with my cousin that in writing that confirmed that, like, yeah, you have a cousin, but we don't see your block tree matching. No, I have Robert the Bruce block tree. Just like the Clackmannans, until descent, I descend right through. It's like brand new. Like the Trees family descent from Robert the Bruce is through a complex blah blah. Like I'm the first one to discover this and prove it. And I have it in writing. I'm related and have the same Y-DNA of my cousin, that's right here, descended from Alexander Stuart the Wolf, whose brother is Sir John Stuart, the Sheriff of Bute, that I have the direct Y14197 that I share with Tim Stewart. Do you see how the brothers can share DNA? Do you see in my line, my Treese line, I have another direct Y-DNA. It's called like the terminal outlet. Like it's the final one before, again, the Clackmannan. So I'm guessing that's Robert the Bruce's brother, that I have his DNA as well. But regardless, in writing, in everything, I have this, and it's on Alistair MacDonald's website, Y14197, or on the University of Strathclyde, but he's the one that validates it. So my block tree, all of my DNA all matches with Alexander, Stewart's that we share, that BY11979. And then with Tim Stewart, I have in writing by Alistar's own words, Y14197 indicates descent from William Stewart of Fennock. So I don't know what else. Like, here's FGC 78762. This is my line. All end terminal, the end terminal YDNA. And it's all before, well before, the Clackmannan. And I have another one right there. And I have another one just to reinforce everything, FTD 8048. So I have it all. I have everything. And I have it all in writing from Alistar and from confirmed the Stewarts. And you can contact them, the administrators and everything. So I don't know what the game is that Alistar, is playing. But, I have all the proof. And I'm coming to Scotland very soon. So when I go see my cousin that's, comes from Alexander Stewart the Wolf, I'll be like, oh, that's cool. You're a Stewart, but my YDNA I am, but I have to go by this funky, stupid surname, Mitchiner. My biological father knows that's not our surname, and he knows it's not best, but he couldn't figure out what's before that. I did that, utilizing all of today's 21st century technology and utilizing that all of my books that I already wrote about the name changes, and my trilogy is going to continue solidifying as my main character starts to find out who he really is, just like the author does in real life. So greatest author of my generation, and I'm a direct descendant, unbroken, from Rollo to Robert the Bruce, and then through the Stewart to Butte. And I have all the YDNA. I have all the proof. And in writing and correspondence, confirming that I have all the YDNA. So, at this point, I have it all. And so now for the 52 more years, I'm just going to keep posting these. Dude, I'm absolutely descended from Robert the Bruce. How long, is this dude going to play the game that has it in writing which I have? Just by Y14197 alone, that validates. I need him to validate proof. So, help me out. Everybody, email him or, help me any way you can, because this is everything. This is my 20 years of work, all of my books, all my trilogies connecting, validation that I am the first and only known direct descendant of Robert the Bruce, King of Scots, today in the 21st century. And I've proven it through all confirmed email correspondence, all of my YDNA, and who I am. I know who I am now. You think I'm going to stop? When I go to Scotland, I'm not going to be like, yo, Tim Stewart, Alistar McDonald, where are you? Let's meet up. Here's my YDNA. I'll give it to you, man. Check it all out. You can put it, I just showed you on Chat GPT. It's going to tell you who I am. Take it. It's all published on Instagram under Naked Author. And I don't think I'm ever going to be using that account again, because that's the proof. And that's the easiest thing for everybody to find, Naked Author. And I hate the surname that I'm not. It has to be Jason William Galbraith Rollo Stuart Bruce. That's who I am. So please, email this dude, email the administrators, at the Wolf of Bandenoch. These administrators right there. There's David Stewart that I had the conversation with, and there's Paul Thompson right there. They're the ones that I just, we emailed each other, and they're all like, yeah, I'm one of the admins, and I'm intrigued by your email. I'm positive for BY11979. And then another one, I have reviewed your kit. I saw you ordered the big Y700. I also see you have a third to fifth Stuart cousin who is in this project. So I have a living Stuart, Royal Stuart, and I share his DNA. And then I have my direct DNA, Y14197, that I share with Tim Stuart, another living Stuart. But now, why am I not a Royal Stuart of Butte validated by Alistair McDonald at the University of Strathclyde? That's my question. Like, my question is like, how much longer will it take? Like, what do we need to make this happen? Like, what is this? Because I'm coming to Scotland and it's gonna make me sick to have to use the fake surname Mitchiner. And each day that I have to use it, it makes the Bruce inside me furious. Cheers.